The claim to fame for the Gyros Power Pro Model 470 is that you can get it rotary tool only, not as part of a kit, for just under $25 from Amazon. There's also an 85-piece kit for about $50. This is in July of 2014. Order just the tool and that's what you get. The rotary tool, a collet wrench, and an instruction booklet. The main thing in the instructions is a direction to run the tool at full RPM for 2 minutes to seat the brushes. And of course you'll want to read and heed the safety instructions. First things first, does it work? That's a 16-penny nail. The cutoff wheel is a Dremel 420 running on a Dremel shaft. No problems here, and if it cuts through steel, it will probably cut through plastic, including a soft bottle top. You're supposed to slow down so as not to melt the plastic, but I found the plastic melted anyway, so might as well just power right through. And sure enough, it cuts wood. Or actually it more burns than cuts, but that has nothing to do with the tool. This is the same number 420 cutoff wheel, which is obviously not the best choice for wood. Now taking a closer look at the tool itself, the power cord caught my eye right away. That is a good power cord. You already know that the power switch is separate from the speed control, which is good. There's a steel hanger loop, which is good. And the tool has a uniform round shape, which I think is better than having a weird shape with protrusions. A simple cylinder is easier to fasten into a fixture with hose clamps. The collet wrench fits the collet, naturally, and also doubles as a screwdriver for removing the brush holders. And you already know that Dremel-type tools fit the collet. It's a standard 1/8 inch. Still, one thing nagged at me after the fact. Talking about the shaft lock button, some Amazon reviewers had said things like, the button that holds the shaft broke, the shaft stopper broke after some light use, the locking pin to change tools broke with less than 20 minutes use. Obviously I bought the tool anyway, but now these comments started to bother me. So I decided warranty what warranty, and took a look inside. As it turns out, maybe there's not much to worry about. The shaft lock mechanism is a steel pin, held by a steel spring, and then the pin engages a notch in a steel shaft. Maybe the nose of the pin could be larger, but then this is not a diesel engine, so I think it might hold up pretty well as is. And the housing is open, so might as well take a look around. Manufacturers have been turning these motors out for decades. This is mature technology, so you know what to expect in overall design. As usual, the devil's in the details. Up front, after the notch for the shaft lock, there's a sealed ball bearing and a very nice blower wheel that looks heavy-duty. Expected use for any tool is in a shop environment, which means airborne particles. The sealed bearing and thick blower wheel look like they'll stand up to shop use. Interestingly, the front bearing is not rubber-mounted, although the rear bearing is. I don't know the logic behind this engineering decision. Possibly the goal was to have zero runout at the collet. I can say that the running tool has only the vibration you'd expect from the motor spinning, nothing unusual that caught my attention. At the rear, again the power cord is a standout. It's obviously never going to pull loose. Also notable is the power switch with 1/4-inch push-on spade connectors, as opposed to push-in connectors built into the switch. In my opinion, spade connectors are the class act. And you see the rubber-mounted rear bearing, which is also a sealed bearing. Taking a closer look, the wiring is 20 gauge, or number 20 AWG, American wire gauge, which is oversized for the wattage this motor pulls, and the wiring connections to the motor and speed control are clamped with screws, which again, in my opinion, are superior to push-in connectors. So, all in all, I don't see any place where the bean counters made the engineers go cheap. The whole assembly looks good to me, with a tendency toward first class, not toward El Cheapo. So, final judgment, the Gyros Power Pro 470. Would I buy it again? Sure, I see no problems. And, do I think you should buy it? Well, what I think about that is, you know your business a lot better than I do, and thanks for watching.